Hello and welcome to Intuitive Journey with Desiree. I'm Desiree Holmes Scherini, your host. And today I'm really happy to have my guest, who is Craig Goldberg. And I'm going to sneak and read his bio here. He's a technologist and certified Vibro-Acoustic Therapy Practitioner. He's on a quest to help humanity achieve a deeper sense of inner calmness through the use of sound and vibration. His work is backed by 40 plus years of research. As a patented inventor, he's constantly exploring new ways to help people reduce stress and anxiety, heal, and transform their lives for the better. And thank you for being here with me. I'm really happy that you could be here and we connected for this conversation. So, welcome, Craig. How are you today?
I'm spectacular. How are you?
I'm good. I'm just ready to sink into the good
Oh man.
vibrations of our conversation. And
Yeah.
yeah, I'm really happy to have you because vibrational um, awareness, I think, is so important. And using the frequency, sound, all of that is something that people just don't even realize has an effect on them, and that they can manipulate it. So tell me about your journey.
Well, look, even as we sit on this podcast, first of all, I am grateful to be here and just thank you so much for having me. The I think one of the most common things that we take for granted is sound and vibration. Even as we sit on this podcast right now, my voice and my voice box is creating vibrations that are moving through the air, being picked up by this microphone, coming through the speakers or headphones of our listeners. And it's all sound and vibration,
Yeah.
everything. That's before you even get into the vibration of thoughts and the vibration of other people and sounds and frequencies that we're constantly coming into and out of harmonic resonance with. And there's a lot there to unpack as well. However, even right now, as I speak, my larynx and my voice box is vibrating and putting the upper torso of my body into that same vibratory frequency. Even as you said, let's drop into the high vibes of this conversation.
Yeah, literally.
It's just something that I want to bring to it. Look, even you being at the conference last week and focused on hypnosis, it's your voice, the practitioner's voice, that is entraining that brain into that hypnotic state. So it's a really powerful aspect that I want to bring and draw some attention towards. And then I want to talk about the power and the strength that sound and vibration have when used in your favor to help calm and relax the nervous system and bring you back into a balanced state, which helps us live healthier, stronger, more peak performance based lives.
Yeah. You know, as you're speaking, I mean, I'm going to try not to take off with this, but as you're speaking, it's just so true that we have a tool, we have a built-in tool, don't we?
Yeah.
Um, I think of the chanting of Om,
Oh
and
yeah.
I use a something called heart math
Yeah.
uh, thing where you can measure your heart rate variability. And when I do the meditation,
Coherence. Yeah.
I watched the to try to achieve the coherence. I discovered that if I Om, if I do that, that it goes more quickly into that wave. So it must be doing something, more than just the thoughts, more than just the relaxation. The sound, adding that sound makes a difference and more quickly gets me into coherence.
Quite a bit of research on Om, on that particular chant in general. We have a record label called In Harmony Media and an app, In Harmony Music Meditations, where we create music. And the most recent track that we literally just released yesterday is called The Deep Om. And it's
Mm,
going to be a series of solfeggio frequencies based on oming, where the user is invited to chant along with it, and the vibroacoustics and what we do from a technology perspective, which I'm sure we'll talk about. But
yeah,
that Deep Om is literally the next series of tracks because of how powerful that Om is. It's interesting, even as you brought that up, I remember where I was the first time I had ohmed. And I actually had to say to the guide, the instructor, whoever, we were sitting in a whole room in my friend's backyard, and we were going through a little bit of a class and a ceremony. And he said, "Okay, we're gonna ohm." And I remember raising my hand, being like, do
Uh,
I just say like how do I do it? And he actually gave everyone in the class a lesson, which we have on camera, on how to and really releasing, enunciating, and as you come to a close, allowing your lips to vibrate and really feeling the full vibrato, if you will, of that chant, and really maximizing in different pitch and different frequencies the vibrations that are coming off of your larynx and ultimately through your head and face and lips. It's really remarkable chant.
yeah, I was listening to a sound healing webinar, um, and they were talking about the name of God, Yahweh. But that, how it doesn't really, you can't pronounce it because there's really no vowels or whatever. But they were talking about it being the connected with the chakras and making the sound, and it was like you're talking about how to pronounce it. And it was, wow, and you bring it back down. It's like, oh, so
It's
that
almost
reminds
more
me.
an essence than it
Yeah,
is a word or chant,
yeah,
a feeling, if you will.
exactly. It's vibrating your parts. Yeah. So, you know, how did you have you always been into sound or this sort of healing? But what turned on your vibratory switch?
Absolutely. So I'm originally from New York. I grew up on Long Island. I lived in New York City for 10 years. I worked in New York City hospitality, working the other 9 to 5, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. for 10 years. And New York is really a town that's built around stress and anxiety. I love you, New Yorkers. I am a New Yorker. I'll always be a New Yorker. And yet I realize really how unhealthy that city can be. And I love that there are yoga studios popping up on every block. And I love the energy that comes out of New York City and the energy that New Yorkers have. The pace of New York really got to me. And eventually I got out in 2010. I got out like it's prison. I got out. I moved west to
Escape
California,
from New
lived in
York City. I think they made a movie about that, didn't they?
I think there's a couple actually.
Uh,
And I got out to San Diego, California, and I started to realize really what life was like in New York City. So no, I have not always been into sound and frequency, although living in Manhattan, you realize just how many noises and sounds you are exposed to on a regular basis, not just the police sirens and fire trucks and buses and subways and other people and loud, obnoxious human beings, which New York is known for, and bless their beautiful hearts. You're constantly exposed to, look, just getting on the subway or public transportation. How many different energetic fields are you intermingling with on a regular basis? And what does that do to the inner balance of your body if left unchecked? And my wife and I actually, short story long, we got involved in essential oils, clean and cleanse these three main environments: what we put in our mouth, what we put on our skin, and what we allow to be kept in the air around us, and recognize just how toxic of a world we really live in. As beautiful and as advanced as we really are, there's a lot of toxicity around us, and it's mixed and mingled into everyday products and experiences that we have. Bless California and Prop 65 to label everything that the contents of this might, have been shown or something along the lines of by the state of California, known by the
yeah.
state of California to cause cancer, right? Like, and again, it's great for us to start to see just how many of these different objects contain chemicals that can cause an issue, an endocrine disruptor, a hormone disruption. There's a variety of different aspects there. So my wife and I cleansed and cleaned everything. We became exceptionally aware of those three environments. And one of the things you give up is perfume, cologne, and most deodorants. And this was 12 years ago. So it was a different time, I think, in that world. Now we've got lots of gluten-free and organic products, and EWG is something that's really wonderful, and we've got a lot more awareness around these things. We're still not there as a society, but we're getting closer. My wife and I were traveling around the country teaching, training, and educating on the efficacy of essential oils. And each time we would go to yoga retreat or a conference that had sound therapists, I would gravitate towards them. A sound bath, a single sound therapist, somebody with tuning forks. And I didn't know what it was about it, but I know I really enjoyed it and I wanted more. So I would load up when I was at these retreats, and then I would seek to find it elsewhere. And I remember one morning I was laying in my house and I bought a gong CD and recording of somebody playing a gong. And I'm an audiophile. I like great sound systems, deep bass, clear, high fidelity sound. And I took my entire sound system and I laid it out. I starfished out in the middle of my floor, and I had my center channel in between my legs, and my right and my left, and my rear left and my rear right over my head. And I was just cranking this gong CD, trying to get the same experience that I would get when I was laying in front of an actual gong. I wanted it on tap. I wanted it when I wanted it, and I wanted to be able to do it by myself without having to play or having somebody else play a gong before me. And turns out I was using the wrong technology. Speakers simply project sound to the body. We really need to use something called a tactile transducer, which is what we use inside our technology today. And I obviously failed with the Gong CD. But a few months later, I got a phone call from my now business partner, Dominic, who said, "Hey, I got something you need to check out. It's called the Sound Lounge." And I went down and I had my first vibro-acoustic experience. And I remember waking up in the middle of the track and taking the headphones off, and I've got all these questions, and they were like, "Just lay down, enjoy the session, take a deep breath, relax," right? And I'm like, "No, no, no, I got." They were like, "Just listen." Ended the track, then they played another track, and it was a little bit more upbeat, and I was kind of grooving towards it. And then halfway through, I literally just threw the headphones off, and I was like, "Guys, I got questions. You've basically done what I was trying to do. What is it? Talk to me about this technology." And that was almost 7 years ago. November will be 7 years. And that was the what is now the In Harmony Sound Lounge. We've of course come out with several other products: the In Harmony Practitioner, the In Harmony Meditation Cushion, and now the In Harmony Music Meditations app and our record label. And we are now really a leader in the industry of vibroacoustic therapy, vibration therapy, meditation, mindfulness. And I spend my days, as we were talking about, evangelizing for this technology, teaching people about sound and vibration and its impact on our physiology, our neurology, our body, and really showing people through experiences on our technology what true relaxation really feels like. Because that's ultimately what all these big words and what all this sound and vibration help the body to relax. And the technical state for relaxation is known as a parasympathetic nervous system response, which is otherwise known as rest and digest, or calm and collected. And even as I say those words, I slow down, I talk a little softer, and I drift into that parasympathetic nervous system response, as opposed to being in fight or flight. That sympathetic nervous system response, that nervous system response that's really in survival mode, that so
Mhm.
many of us are spending so much time. Even as I say that, somebody who's listening is going, "Man, I'm spending a lot of time in fight or flight. I'm spending a lot of time in survival mode right now." And that's okay for short sprints. It's not okay if it's day after day, all day long, week after week, month after month. The body is really ill-equipped to handle the day-to-day trials and tribulations of just living life when you're in fight or flight regularly.
Yeah, so exactly. And it's like you say, those quick spurts, certainly we do it. It's like, oh shoot, got to catch the plane or did it, but you're so
Yeah,
right that that balance there, some people just stay there. And it you talk about the vibration, it rubs off on other people like it really does. We talk about
for
auras and
sure.
energy and electromagnetic energy. You can tell when you're around someone who's in fight or flight. Even if you're not talking to them, you can feel it. So tell me about the experience. Like, what exactly is your, the you said you have several different things.
I
Describe them.
do. So is this going to be video and podcast? Can I use
Yes, it
some
is.
visual?
It's a
Awesome.
YouTube and podcast.
Awesome. So let me show you. So this is
Share
the In
screen.
Harmony. This is the In Harmony meditation. I'm not going to share screen, but I'm
Oh,
just going
okay.
to put up this virtual background.
All right.
And
Yes, yes.
this is the In Harmony meditation cushion. It might be over here. The screens are
It's where you
flip-flop. But
pointed first. Yeah.
first, okay, cool. So the In Harmony meditation cushion, you sit on it, you're wearing headphones, you are listening to and feeling the vibrations that are coming up through this piece of hardware that we've produced. And then this is the In Harmony Sound Lounge, very
Okay.
similar. You're laying down on it. It's powered by the amplifier and the app that you can see on the table. And you are feeling the same vibrations that you are hearing. There's an overlap between what's being delivered to your body and what's being delivered to your ears in the headphones. Most people don't realize that 30% of our hearing actually comes from our eyes. And
Hmm.
a good bit of our hearing comes from mechanoreceptors in our skin. We have three different kinds of mechanoreceptors in our skin, and they each fatigue at different rates. So sound and vibration is actually picked up with and interpreted by the body, as well as, of course, the ears being the most prominent aspect of what we hear. But when you're hearing the same thing that you're feeling, this has this three-dimensional effect of the sound and vibration. It makes the brain feels as though it's inside the music. And when you listen to microtonal music, which is the genre that we're really focused on, the brain and the body goes into this entrainment. It drifts into an alpha or a theta brainwave state very quickly. I know you know this from the work that you do. And it entrains the brain and the body into this alpha and theta brainwave state, which is associated with rejuvenation. It's associated with calm and relaxed, and of course, a parasympathetic nervous system response. So you lay down on the sound lounge or the meditation cushion, or if you do body work, we also have one that goes on top of a massage table, and you turn on our app and you push play, and really you lose yourself in the music is the only direction that I really have for folks. There's no right way to do it, no wrong way to do it. You're not supposed to be doing something or not supposed to be doing something. You're just a guy or a gal laying on a table or sitting on our cushion, and you're listening to music. And that music is what guides the mind, body, and spirit into that coherence, into that deeper meditative state, which is really an alpha or a theta brainwave state. And really, at the end of a 22-minute track, it takes about 15 minutes for the chemical cascades associated with the parasympathetic nervous system response to kick in. There's a couple other companies out there that say they can do it faster. The reality is, when you look at the science and the research of vibro-acoustic therapy, really talks about 15 minutes for the chemical cascade to kick in, and 22 minutes being the official length for a track in the field of vibro-acoustic therapy to get you into that parasympathetic nervous system response. It just takes time.
Oh,
So that's really what it's all about.
so cool. That's so cool.
Thank you. Yeah.
So you commented before we went on air here that you just spent some time in Denver. Um,
Mhm.
and so how does at the I forgot the you know
Psychedelic
psych,
Science Conference.
psychedelic science. So how does this tie in with that area?
Well, so psychedelic therapy is obviously something that's growing right now. The impact that these substances and these therapeutics are having on treatment-resistant PTSD, treatment-resistant anxiety, treatment-resistant anxiety and depression. Again, treatment-resistant means they've gone the conventional route and not had success.
Mhm.
And some of these psychedelic therapy sessions are actually turning that around in one session, and it's gone, taking suicidal thoughts from a 10 to a 2 in one session. And there's a variety of different medicines that go along with that.
Mhm.
Vibroacoustic therapy complements all of these medicines very, very well. It's both used before, during, and after. So as you might imagine, going into these psychedelic experiences, there's some anxiety, there's some stress. That sympathetic nervous system response is beginning to kick in for a variety of different reasons, which we can dive into. I'm almost 30 years, 25 years into working with these substances and understanding how they operate on the mind, body, and spirit, mostly anecdotal research that I've done myself. But now that research is starting to catch up
Like looking for
with
volunteers. No.
totally, right? But the science and the research is starting to catch up, and they're having remarkable breakthroughs in modern medicine using these substances. And in our lifetime, we are going to see these substances rescheduled specifically for research purposes, specifically for medicinal applications. Look at what's happened in cannabis over the last 20 years, right? And we're going to see this happen with psilocybin. We're probably going to see it with LSD. We're probably going to see it certainly see its way through for cannabis in particular, um, and MDMA as well, which originally started as a prescription drug and then was scheduled as a Schedule One narcotic. So um, sound and vibration complements really well. Now, I was at Psychedelic Science as well as, which is put on by MAPS. That was in Denver just 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago. And then I was also at Wonderland down in Miami in November of last year. Wonderland is kind of the regulatory side
Okay.
of the psychedelic conversation, and then MAPS is really the research side. And then there's the consumer side as well, which we participated at an event called Meet Delic in Las Vegas at Area 15. That was probably 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago. So something that we are very much involved in because of the impact that our technology has before, during, and after these therapies. So it can either be used to help you with the anxiety you have building into a psychedelic experience, help you ground in during a psychedelic experience, and then, of course, help you to integrate after a psychedelic experience. At Wonderland and Psychedelic Science, I was there partnered with a company called Sound Self. And Sound Self actually has a digital therapeutic. So we started this conversation by talking about the power of Om and
Yeah.
chanting and the power of the larynx and the voice box. Robin and Lyle have done some incredible things with SoundSelf in that they have a computer software that utilizes in-harmony technology, Casina glasses, as well as a microphone and a gaming headset to guide the user through a 20, 30, or 40-minute experience where they are toning very similar to an ohm into the microphone, into the software. The software then plays back that ohm in subsequent breaths so that you can harmonize with your. So
Uh,
it is basically a biofeedback experience guided by your voice that helps you to drift into and drop into your own tone. And then the vibroacoustics underneath it, if you're laying on a practitioner or you're laying on a sound lounge, you are feeling your voice with every single cell in your body reverberate back to you. It is a magical experience. So SoundSelf was a sponsor of Psychedelic Science and Wonderland, and I'm there as their strategic partner supporting the entire field. And it's obviously something that I'm very passionate about and believe that this is where we can have impact. It's why I do what I do. I want to touch as many people as I can. I want to help as many people as I can because the statistics are really stacked against us as human beings. Here in the United States, of the top 10 reasons why Americans die of all-cause mortality, 6 of them are rooted in stress and anxiety. You remove the stress and anxiety, those 6 reasons for death go away. So, and that's 74% of Americans are dying from these top 10 reasons for death. So the statistics really are stacked against us. And I believe sound and vibration can have a tremendous impact on our overall well-being. That's before you even get into peak performance. We work with Olympians, we work with elite athletes in the NFL, the NHL, MLB, and folks that are really getting after it. We work with weekend warriors as well, that are parents that want to get on the road bike and do 100 miles on the weekend and not be as sore and recover faster for Monday morning. Or folks like me, I've been moving for the last 2.5 weeks, lifting, bending,
yeah.
and I have a 3-year-old to chase around. So there's quite a bit. There's quite a bit that we can use to calm and relax the mind, body, and spirit. Psychedelic science and the psychedelic research is something I'm very passionate about. But overall, the technology helps to calm and relax the nervous system and give us that reset so that we can come at life as strong and as powerful as possible.
Yeah. How about the, the like you mentioned, Frigio notes and
Arpeggio, yes.
yeah, that word. So,
Uh,
um, and I've seen like the charts. Well, this helps with that. This helps with that, or even different organs. Even
yeah,
just like you mentioned the essential oils to there's that
yes,
frequency in a
yes,
different way, the frequency of different oils, frequency of different plants, and that whole big
yes,
picture. Because, like you say,
yes,
everything is a frequency, light or
yes,
sound. But even then, sound, it is sound photons too. I don't know. That's something to think about. But even thoughts have, this thing. But where I was going with this is, I had to have a foot surgery. I have a couple examples about sound and um, and its effect on pain or its effect on emotions. And I had foot surgery, and that part where you have the surgery and they say take the medicine every 4 hours, whether you think you need it or not. Well, I didn't take it. I thought, oh no, it doesn't hurt so much. I don't need that. Well, then if you wait too long, you're dying. Um,
yes,
and of course, I took it, but I I'm flipping through my sound noises, and I find the one for pain relief. I think it was 412 or something, or 417.
Or
And I
17, yeah.
and I turned that on for 8 hours overnight, and I honestly did notice a difference listening to that sound. And of course, it could be, maybe I thought I was expecting it, so whatever works, right? Um, so
Placebo's powerful too.
yeah, so I did notice. I felt like that I listening to that sound helped relieve the pain. And there was a time I was about to talk about sound, using sound even as a holistic help for people, even you talked about death and life, but even people that are suffering at the end of life. I could see a wonderful use for it in
Ooh,
hospice. My mom uh, was having pain um, in her back, like end of life kind of stuff, but it was going on for several months. And I took a little sound bar and I put on 538 hertz, and I just had her hold it right here at her solar
perfect.
plexus area. And she had been in a whole lot of pain, had been just, oh, it hurts, it hurts. She starts laughing so hard that, she says, oh, what is this doing? And she just started laughing. And I was like, whoa, that's cool. And I just put it against
That
her.
powerful.
It was really cool. So I could totally see, if they had one of these, units there, like say in hospice care, and just let somebody relax on there for 20 minutes a day, how that could just benefit people and their well-being.
I can't even imagine. I'm 44 years old. I'm not quite getting to that age yet. I'm gonna live to be
Yeah,
150, so I got some time, right?
yeah, yeah.
I could only imagine how stressful being towards the end of your life is, being in hospice or palliative care scenario. Being in that scenario where you really don't have much to do. There's really not much to do except think of and reminisce about your own life. I wish my grandmother's 95 years old. I wish I could talk to her more often. I mean, I know that I'm the one who controls that and I can pick up the phone, but life and the whirlwind of it just gets in the way, and I let it. I get that. Sorry, grandma, I love you. Um, I just I think about this a lot, actually, because that actually would bring on some stress and anxiety for me. Thinking about, when is my last breath? How far away is it? And of course, we stay consumed as I look outside to the motorhome and this beautiful landscaped home that I have and the open desert that I'm looking at. And I think about how grateful I am for every moment and every breath that I have. But there is a certain amount of stress and anxiety that comes with end of life, healthy or not. And you shared a great story of how powerful sound and vibration is. The frequency you probably played was 528 hertz. It is one of the solfeggio frequencies. 417 is as well. So too is 174, 285, 396. These are all very powerful frequencies that all have a specific focus and a broad application. So when you download the In Harmony Music Meditations app, one of the best ways to use the app, not including our technology, of course, is through a Bluetooth speaker,
Mm.
allowing it to project. The deeper and the bigger the speaker, the
Vibrations.
better. Home stereo system, car. A lot of people use it in their car stereo system while they're not driving. Please just sit back in the passenger seat or the driver's seat and lay down and crank. Often
The whole
your
car
car is the best
vibrates with
sound
you.
system. Yeah. Start to feel that low end, and more importantly, the mechanoreceptors in your skin are picking up on those frequencies. Your ears are hearing the same thing that you're feeling. And it works as well with speakers as it does with headphones. Headphones are, I think, a little bit better, but it certainly works with speakers in a sound system. And it's all designed to drop you into that theta, alpha, and theta brainwave state. Your eyes must be closed. When your eyes are open, your brain is processing the world around it. You're in that beta brainwave, and it's a higher frequency than alpha, which is just below that, theta, which is just below that, and delta, which is just below that, and gamma, which is above beta, associated with higher states of consciousness, and that sort of thing. And we move in and out of these brainwave states throughout the day.
Right.
If you've ever been in like a daydreamy state where you close your eyes just to rest for a little bit, and you wake up a couple minutes later and you just had like a little quick dream, but it was only 10 minutes, you drifted into an alpha brainwave state. Alpha brainwave state is where creativity begins and really lives. in theta. So moving in and out of these brainwave states is really important for us to have the tools we need to perform in this life as effectively and efficiently as we can. I'm grateful that you found some relief for mom.
Yeah,
Pain is one of the
it
lowest
sounds great.
vibrations in the body. So
Mm,
most people don't realize that we are electrical beings. Your nervous system operates through electrical signals. Your body is 93% water above your shoulders, 70 to 90% water below your shoulders. That's salt water, by the way, not fresh water. We need salt in order to conduct electricity, in order for our bodies to operate more efficiently. And high quality Himalayan pink salt or sea salt is what you want to be putting in your body, up to a tablespoon a day. This is not medical advice, so see your doctor,
yeah,
especially if you
I know.
have hypertension
Don't we
or
always
high
have to
blood
say that?
pressure,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. But like, but you can consume really good salt, not your typical iodized table salt, which is not as healthy for you and actually can strip your body of vital minerals and nutrients. But having high quality salt, it's necessary to drink lots of water and consume salt throughout the day, so that we can conduct electricity better. Those pain signals that are going through the nervous system can be overridden with sound and vibration. And this is where the science and the research for vibroacoustic therapy, which you can find on our website, really comes into play, because most people don't know just how important sound and vibration is to optimal human performance, and really performing at our best day in, day out.
Yeah, and I think there's just so many opportunities to include sound and use sound. I know that we're kind of getting close to the end of your window of availability. So let's kind of end with, what can people do on their own? What, like you
Yeah.
talked about listening, being in your car, um, on your own. What would you suggest that people can do
So
to
first,
use
yeah,
it?
first, it's a great question. First and foremost, and it's free, have an awareness of what sounds and what frequencies your body is being exposed to every single day. Even right now, as you're listening to our voice and this conversation, what other sounds and frequencies are you being exposed to? I'll give you some examples. The kitchen air compressor, or rather the compressor on the refrigerator in your kitchen, is it humming? Can you hear dirty electricity? Some people can actually hear the hiss of electricity flowing through their home. Is there a washing machine or a dryer that's regularly running in your neighbor's house and you're wondering what they're doing and you're just hearing that ka-tunk, ka-tunk, ka-tunk? That's a frequency,
Yeah.
right? And the mind and the body and the spirit, you're picking up on that and you're in training to that. So the first is free, just being aware of what exactly you are being exposed to day in and day out. The second is your breath and how powerful your breath is. The mind controls the breath. Well, your breath controls the mind controls the body. So when you notice that you're breathing short and you have shortness of breath and you're kind of sitting
Yeah.
high in your breathing cycle, elongate and take that deep breath. It's one of the reasons why tobacco smokers are usually calm and relaxed. It's not necessarily the tobacco or the chemicals that are in there,
They
but
stop and
that first
breathe.
drag when you light up a cigarette is a deep breath. And then you're holding it and exhaling.
Hmm.
So first and foremost, being cognizant and aware of your breath and using that to your advantage to slow down your breath. I like box breathing, a 4 or 5 count in,
Hmm.
hold 4 or 5 counts, exhale 4 or 5 counts, and then hold empty 4 or 5 counts. This can be very powerful to relax the nervous system. If you're looking
Hmm.
for a little bit more, I highly recommend on iOS or Android going to the App Store and downloading the In Harmony Music Meditations app. It's $8 a month or $80 a year, and that has regular music that we're releasing into it weekly. And that music sounds fantastic through headphones or a Bluetooth speaker. And when you're ready to upgrade and check out what we're doing, I highly recommend the In Harmony Meditation Cushion, the In Harmony Practitioner if you do body work, or acupuncture, acupressure, and of course the In Harmony Sound Lounge for the ultimate in vibroacoustic therapy and relaxation. Or go to our website, iaminharmony.com, and simply scroll 3/4 down and look for a demo and find somebody that has our technology
Oh, cool.
nearby. And you can check out we've got about 350 practitioners here in the United States and growing every day. So there's probably one close to you. If there isn't, We have a 30-day money-back guarantee. We do not get many returns, and I highly recommend jumping in. And if you have any questions, my phone number is at the bottom of our website, as too is an email address that I check on a regular basis. And I'd be more than happy to talk to you about what your specific experience is and how we might be able to help you feel your best.
Perfect. So all that information will be in the description here too. So, so that's good to know that there are people that have, your product, or that you can go to them and it might be part of the services they offer along with what they do. So you can find somebody.
Absolutely.
And so you would just search on your website
Yep.
for the
Search on our
practitioners.
website. You'll find their phone number, their email address, or their website. And they're all super friendly. They've all been vetted by me. I know all of our affiliates. It's something that we personally really take care of. They all sit close to the fire. They're all on an affiliate chat that we have where we're talking and communicating on a regular basis about how to maximize and create the best experience possible for new users as well as repeat. And look, if you just say, you know what, this person's 10 minutes for me and there's already a sound lounge and I can just buy a package and get involved, that's fantastic. And I'm super grateful for you to tap into and have our technology in your world. And if you choose to make a purchase, they actually have a discount code for you as well. And they can help you out as well.
Yeah, and there are so many people that do services that would love to have that as part of their opportunity for their clients. That's very cool.
Complements really well with a number of different modalities. We call it stacking in the biohacking world,
Huh?
where you're stacking multiple technologies on top of each other: red light, blue light therapy, infrared heat, sauna, cold therapy. It all works really well with vibro-acoustic therapy, and is really, there's quite a bit of buzz in the
Literally.
wellness world.
A good high vibrational buzz. Yeah.
Indeed,
So if you want to get
indeed.
buzzed, yeah, we know where to go. It's a healthy buzz. Oh,
Yeah.
Craig, thank you. It's been really great talking to you. I'm just going to say goodbye and end the recording, and then I'll say goodbye again.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super grateful. And again, if anybody has any questions, I'm the one that's on all of our social media accounts as well: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all of them. I'm the one that's replying to those messages. So reach out anytime, anywhere. Thank you so much.
Thanks for being here.